Alright, this is the beginning of the raid like we tried. I'm going to just provide some commentary here for it. So, obviously there's two halves that each got to be brought to the same totem every time. 6 times. And they slam them at the same time about. This is 3 teams of 2. I'm part of the center team. The goal is to just break glass and shoot everything. Really straightforward. The other guys run to the outside edges, teams of 2. One guy grabs the relic, the other guy breaks the glass and shoots anything shooting the relic guy. You basically just want to clear enough of a path. And there's time constraints, so it's definitely you want to keep moving. And obviously, if somebody gets killed, I recommend, or well, what happened rather, not what I recommend, but what we did was one person from the center just jumps out to help instead. You can revive the person on the way back with the 30-second timer. The glass spawns as soon as somebody touches a relic, obviously, so there's a lot of communication. After all 6, this portal opens. Killed a couple things that come out. First box is just right there. It's usually just got crap or whatever. You know, it's something. Pretty straightforward. Alright. This is the first jumping puzzle. I left it basically in its entirety to see which ship you jump to every time. Other things I cut down to, show what's the important mechanic, but this I left intact. And I recommend, well, if you have like Bones of Ow, that's fine, but like I have control jump, but I think high jump would be better because there's a ship. I do an edit here. There's a ship that I missed because I didn't have enough height. The goal is to get over there where the lights are. Yeah, that's it. But this is the same platform you just saw. You wait for this ship to spawn and just continue. If you do die and you have to wait for a ship, it feels like it takes like at least a whole minute for the ship to come back, so, just be careful. Now this one is the only really unique one, because another ship will spawn ahead of us here to the left. You don't actually jump on that one. That one's meant to just kind of push you off, but if you hang in the back corner, it should just straight miss you. He jumps on top and jumps back down. I guess that works fine. But yeah, you can see how that would have pushed you. And at this point, you just jump on every ship you can. This is probably the one that I messed up because it came so quick the first time. Yeah, this jumping puzzle takes quite a while. This is nothing like the Vault of Glass, is it? Alright, so there's two staircases here. Go up either one. And then it leads to this ship. There's a plate on both sides of this ship. Two people stand on it, makes the ship move. And then there's two plates on the other side that they're standing on to get us across at this point. So this, and you see where the bullets are firing? You actually jump off there, and then you can climb those slanted looking things on the wall there, and it leads to a chest. So that's what's going to happen here in a second. And a Titan save. Two Titan saves. Yeah, and hug the wall pretty well. The little spine things like to kind of push you out every once in a while, like some kind of dick bag. And then there's a, I walked past it first, but there's a hole in the wall up here. Now, coming up here, I do cut it short, but basically you're going to see the path forward after the chest. It leads to like an updraft that you can ride, but before you go up it, there's a calcium fragment that's kind of hidden by the wall in front of it. But we'll see it here in a second. Just remember it's before you go up the lift, down there where that guy was. So you run in, and it's just up and to my left here. You go up the lift to the next area, and it's the next calcium fragment right there to the right. Alright, so this mechanic, you can see that green in the distance? That's a door that gets opened. There's 10 glyphs on both sides of it. So the gist is you break into two teams of three, left and right. They do the same thing, so I'm just going to explain it from the right side that I did. Once you start it by shooting the enemies that are praying or whatever down there, enemies will come through that green area. You can shoot them. In this area, the important thing to remember is there's a witch that can spawn above, like up there. I keep kind of looking past it, but there's an upper area. You want to make sure you kill her dead. So what you're seeing right now is those two guys went forward. One guy stepped on it, and he had an aura with 30 seconds on it. Right now, this guy has it, so I'm going to show you from my point of view. Now I'm in this guy's aura from standing on it. Shoot the enemies. The important thing is a boomer from the upper level. Make sure you kill him because he's a dickbag. So, I have an aura. After his 30 seconds are up, I'm going to get the aura instead. See how it switched the brand now? So now I'm here killing that dude. And the other guy that you saw run past me earlier is running back now. Now, the reason that they've been running like this is when my time is up here, I get the aura back because the new guy who's going to be in this circle with me when the timer runs out is going to get this brand. He's going to get this brand from me. I'm going to be in his, so I get an aura, but I also get something called death, like, it'll tell here in a second, what is it, death stacks or something? Death singer power. You run that to that first circle in the center of the room, and you got to stand on it until all 10 drain away. Once all 10 drain away, one of the glyphs on the door lights up. So like that, you see how both sides have two? I'm going to put the third one on it is what's going to happen. And from here you can shoot them, it's fine. Just watch that stupid witch right there. There's one on the other side too sometimes. The witches and boomers are really the main thing. Everything else is just trash. And once the stacks are done, you can get off the circle. And see there's like, it's lit up now. So 10 cycles of that gets you to through the door. This is the first actual boss encounter, the War Priest. The gist of him is, there's 3 of those pillars like that with glyphs on it, and a circle behind them. So, once you start fighting, enemies come out doors on that circle side, like that whole side. There's a left, there's a center, and a right. So there's 3 teams of 2. I'm in the middle team again. The middle team has like cursed thralls and a hollowed knight eventually. The sides get acolytes, they get witches, and then the knights. You want to kill them in that order too, like the weakest to the hardest. And then the yellow sword knights are the important ones. Once you kill all 3, those glyphs will actually, on the War Priest side of them will glow in an order, like, for example, left, right, center, or something. There's a guy to the right who's kind of hidden, can see the back of them, and he calls it out. So if he says left, he means like our left. So the guy up high on the left side has to stand on the circle, like the circle you saw on my screen, and stay on it. And then he calls out the next one that lights up, and the same guy does the same thing, and then the third one steps on his afterwards when it lights up as well. The third guy to do that gets this red aura. It's the only thing that lets you damage the War Priest. It's kind of like making your own fate. So, and you have to know ahead of time where you're going. So, like, for example, no matter which order it was, we went to the right first. And once he's got the aura, or rather when the knights are dead, do not shoot any trash mobs. See, there's the knight there that I was talking about. So, you kill them down as a group. They don't have to be at the same time or anything. But once it's dead, don't kill any more trash. It's the most important aspect of this fight. The guy who gets the red aura has a countdown timer. And he resets that timer. He will die if it reaches 0. So at like 2 seconds or 1 second, he kills a piece of trash, and it resets his time to 10 seconds again. And he keeps doing that. And he'll live if he does, once all of them are dead and he counts down. I mean, it won't just kill him at the end of it. So everyone else's job is to stay in this red that you see there and just blow that dude's head off. And for whatever reason, I had a couple where it didn't show me any I don't know what I was hitting. It was uncool. But you definitely got to make sure you're in the red aura. In fact, that's probably what it was. I don't think I was in the aura because the dude who's got to shoot the trash keeps moving around and shit. But if everyone can keep hitting the War Priest, he keeps stumbling. So he can't even shoot at us, which is great. He might get a shot off, but the snipers really work him out. Now, once he's done with all those mobs and the aura disappears because of it, he's got that bubble behind him is basically an oversoul, but you cannot kill it. What you do is you hide behind that glyph pillar right there in front of you, and it protects you. But the trade-off is that it kills the pillar. So you only have 3 pillars, which means you could do 4 cycles of this to kill him. If you don't do it in time, it'll wipe you. I don't know how that guy lived over there, but whatever. So once it's done, go back to go back to wherever you had stuff, kill things again. It's the same pattern. When he gets low health like that, they become taken. It's the same idea. Some yellow taken knight will show up and you just shoot him instead. Same idea. The totems that have been destroyed, obviously, you're like, where's the glyph? There'll be a red light that just spawns there. So this was the last pattern. We're on this side now, and it's straightforward. It's just, this is the 3rd out of 4, so obviously he could be killed pretty well. Snipers, machine guns, scout rifles, all this long range, high damage is the way to go. See, we didn't even use that last one there. So this is the beginning of the next part. This is just a dark area with no enemies. There's holes in the ground, kind of like the Abyss. From the beginning, you basically keep turning left when you can. It leads to a calcium fragment that you'll see here. I didn't put all this stuff in, but it's basically, it looks like a giant 4-paneled window pane, the pathways, but they're broken. So from the start, left goes to the fragment. But if you go right, left, right, that will put you on the center line around a broken wall, and that's to the exit. And it leads to this guy. You shoot a water bubble above, and it spawns him in. So this guy, we did it differently than what it wants you to do, but it works. When it starts, all this trash spawns. Kill it. Use your supers to kill it, unless you're a Night Stalker or a Defender bubble, to make orbs for everyone. Everyone should be doing that. And it's important to not move up too much, and if he's looking at you, just hide. No reason to die. Even the yellow stuff dies pretty quick. See, I keep using this pillar next to me to avoid him. And see where the yellow guy is right now? Same side on the other side. These guys were kind of weak about doing it, but you got to be careful because they'll stand on it extends out into the field of play. You can see it over there a little bit. that guy will shoot across those add-ups with the boomers and shoot. See, like that? I started shooting him first because fuck that guy. So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, the mechanics. Once they're all dead, there's these 6 water things in the air. You see they're shooting the first one. Normally you go through a pattern of them, but what we're doing is we're shooting the first one so it drops. Run in, and I throw down a weapon bubble, and that guy gets he focuses the rage. So this dude is not going to hurt anyone else for like 20 or 30 seconds. Meanwhile, you just unload on him with as much damage as you can. You ignore everything else that's going on. There's probably 4 people sniping him right now. You see my weapon thing wore off. The guy's counting down a timer, so we jump out at the last second. And then it says failed to capture his gaze. That just means that we didn't continue with the bubbles. That's fine. The way you capture his gaze is there's another critical just like that, but it's on his back. And so like one guy's going to designate and hold that for that. So the other side from him has to shoot like his feet to get his attention so that he could turn around and the other guy shoots in the back, and that's how you capture his gaze. And then when you have it captured, he shoots this purple nonsense. Not that purple. It's like these slow like sperm balls out of his mouth. Just shoot them. Just keep shooting them when they come to you. When he gets low enough health, it becomes taken instead of hive. And, you know, you have one guy holding his gaze. You got like 4 people sniping at him. It's nice to have somebody like a Stormcaller or a Sunsinger, like throw grenades or just clean up the trash around them. Night Stalker's great for debuffing Douchebag McGee here, because he's got something like 11 million health. You saw I was doing almost 100,000 damage a shot with my bubble. So, I mean, you know, I fire at least 15 rounds into him as long as I don't have to reload. Maybe 20. I don't really know. I didn't count it. But with 4 people doing that, you can get the damage easy enough. And there's no penalty for doing it that way, except you got to stay alive. That's the most important thing. 6 deaths will wipe it regardless. That pillar I just passed is a column that counts up your deaths. It's pretty straightforward. This, I left it continuous here so you can see how close the next calcium fragment is. As you're running up here to this spinning pillar, you got to jump up on the left. Like it's above me on the left here. I can't see it very well in the dark. But I basically like trip into it. And then you get to another jumping puzzle. Right out the gate, you can look down and see that piston that pushes you like a big dildo. Next to it is another calcium fragment. So I just jump down here and grab it that way. And there's a right around where we are now is another like hidden pathway that leads to a chest across, kind of like the beginning of the Dreadnought itself. But anyways, I'm standing on this thing, so it spawns those. I'm standing on this platform, so it spawns those things in front of me that he wants to jump on. There's 3 of these. So 2 guys jumped across. There's one over there, you could just see it. And then when he's standing on it, it makes the next one spawn to where that 3rd guy is way down there. And the point of doing that is if there's a guy on all 3, it just makes them stay. This is the hidden chest path. So you jump across, and then you look for like the invisible stuff like that, and then you look for platforms like I'm landing on right now, and you just climb to a door. I didn't include it because it's actually super, super easy. And then normally you get through that, you go down and you go up. You keep going left in that part, and then you get to here, which is these 2 witches. So there's 2 of them. You always start by attacking the one that's on my left. See how the other one's on fire? So it's always like left, right, left, right. One guy will be translucent on your team, and he'll have horrible like pen and ink vision. And there will be a relic above one of these platforms. I'm standing on a platform now. You jump on them in order. So at I'll show you a sniper spawn at 40 seconds. On that 40 seconds a sniper. So what happens is the guy starts 1 space counterclockwise from the relic, jumps up on the platform, then the dude who's supposed to make the bridge for him jumps up, and then you jump on him in sequence so that he can run around on platforms to grab the ball. Grab the ball, you jump on the witch that isn't on fire, you hold X to slam it like a fucking basketball. He gets an invincible aura that he steals from her. You come down here and just start wailing on her goddamn face. Don't kill her because it rages the other one and it will wipe you. You want to get her close, though. And then see all this white? Stay inside this bubble of immortality he stole, because it's just like another oversoul white thing. Once that's done, kill the trash. If your team's coordinated, you can move up with the invincible bubble and kill them, because what are they going to do about it? You're invincible. And then at this point, somebody else becomes translucent. You got to protect them because they can't attack. And okay, you see where the orb is above a platform. You start one counterclockwise from it. That's the starting point. So you start the one to my left to get to that one up there. So that dude jumped up. Now the platform builder jumped up. He jumped up, so now I jump up. And once I'm on mine, the guy to my right jumps on his. The last platform that has the ball doesn't actually need anyone to jump underneath of it. They can just help kill stuff. And see, at 40 seconds again, that dude shows up. So that bitch is on fire, so you want to attack the other one. Ideally, just go straight out on this one. We didn't kill her on the first try, but it's entirely doable. Like, one more bullet would have killed her. It's disgusting how close she was. But my sniping skill is not on game. I probably should have thrown a weapon bubble here, just to burn her down, that kind of thing. Anyways, this goes back and forth. Like that. That guy's using the simulants, and I don't even know if it's doing damage to her. Yeah, but keep hurting, keep sniping. Snipers are really good for bosses in this. If I had that damn bubble, she'd be dead right now. You know, 3 runs instead of 4. It's just one less thing to make a mistake on. Damn. Clean up the trash. You know, anyone who's got good cleanup stuff, you know, Night Stalker would be nice to make the orbs or whatever. You know, Titan with a hammer. Something. So it's above me, so I won't actually jump on my platform. I'm just going to shoot enemies. But they started one to my right. You know, one counterclockwise. And then the guy jumps, and you can see he's climbing up pretty high. You can kind of see the platforms. But, you know. But like I said, you know, you grab the ball, you jump to the witch that's not on fire. One has blue fire. One has red. Doesn't matter. See, we're going back here. And she dies real quick because she's so low anyhow. Ugh. You stay in the aura anyhow. Even though she's dead, it's going to do its, like, death blast nonsense. And she's invincible in her shit. It's important for people to not go down. One person could go down, but it's like it makes it pretty tricky is all. But I mean, this was actually our first run of it, and 3 of these people, including myself, didn't know what was going on. You know, it was like first run, whatever. It was above me again for whatever reason. It's random. There's no rhyme or reason to it, so I don't have to jump on my platform again, but they're starting to see one to the right, one counterclockwise. The guy with the aura jumped up first, then the other guy jumped up to make the platform, and he stays on it. Don't jump on the platform either. I didn't stress that. You have to just stand on it. Even just jumping up in the air and coming back down will fuck it up. Everyone stays on their platform, but you go on them in order. And then once he gets that thing from her, then everyone can move up. And in fact, she's so low health that he kills her right as we're trying to get up there anyhow. It's like she's already dead. And then a chest spawns. And that's pretty much it. I don't have the orcs part because we didn't complete it, but just so everyone's up to speed. Alright.